Welcome everyone to another Wheaton Academy live stream. I'm here with Derek Schlembecker. We are at Performance Trust Field where the Wheaton Academy Warriors will host the Ridgewood Rebels. Derek, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thursday night lights this week, homecoming week, so it's going to be a little different. We're out here on a Thursday night, but the guys are out there. They're looking ready and warmed up.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about game changes in a minute, but it is a great night for football. It's about 60 degrees right now, much cooler than we've had recently. But players are all amped up. It's homecoming week. They've been talking about this all week during classes. And, yeah, everyone is so jazzed up for this week. And soccer's jazzed up for tomorrow, too. The entire school is here, as you can see from all the cameras. There's so many people here tonight, most than probably I've ever seen, really. But with that, let's hop right into the game changers for tonight's game. To begin, Bly Brummel. He's been an absolute force on the offensive side of the ball. He has 895 total passing yards so far this year and 18 touchdowns with that. Last game, he had 6 touchdowns total. I believe he had 285 passing yards that game. It was just a major force for Wheaton Academy early on.
Yeah, I mean, he could hit that 1,000 yards tonight. And then Breck Peacock, to add to that, we have a combo with those guys. The connection's been awesome. Breck's almost up to 400 yards already, 4 touchdowns, averaging about 86 yards a game, which is super impressive for any receiver at any level. And we're lucky to have that Breck and Belai combo, which we're going to have to rely on tonight with Gavin Padone being out at the running back position.
Yeah, Gavin Padone sprained his ankle at lacrosse practice earlier this week, so he will be out until probably next week. So Belai and Breck need a good combination tonight. But also, on the defensive side of the ball, we've only let up 14 points all season, and that's because one man and one man alone, Brett Dieter. Why don't you welcome that?
Brett Dieter is a junior captain for us. He's got 23 tackles this year, and 5 of those are solo tackles. He's been a beast. He's got a tackle for loss. Brett just overall has been a force defensively, and he's a great vocal leader, gets hyped up after a big play. He is one of the reasons why our defense has been so spectacular, as you mentioned, only letting up 14 points this whole year.
Absolutely. I think another thing about Brett's game is that Brett isn't super loud. He's not super obnoxious, not getting the other teams to the face, but he dominates his position quietly, and I think he leads by example, and that's another reason why Brett is such a key piece to this defense. But last game changers, homecoming week. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
It's homecoming week. It's one of the best traditions here at Wheaton Academy. We go all out. We've got color day. We get to dress up for different things. But what really is the big draw is things like the service project last night, where we were able to raise over 20,000 items for kids in foster care. And tonight, where we have a football game, and then tomorrow we have the soccer game. Like, these are the big events that everyone comes to. And we're looking to get 2 big wins here tonight, obviously with football, but then tomorrow in soccer too.
Absolutely, and we had the tailgate right before this, so many families showed up for that. And it's just a major, major key factor for Wheaton Academy, just the homecoming week and all the experience and all the people coming together. And especially for football, the players are hyped up for this night.
They are.
And it is going to be a great night against Ridgewood. We're happy to host them. And with that, we will see you guys at game time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, welcome back after the break as we are about to start play. There's so many people here tonight at Performance Trust Field. The crowd is electric. It's getting a little chilly as we go closer to game time. But Derek, why don't you talk to us a little bit about the rest of homecoming week here at Wheaton Academy?
Yeah, so as we touched on in the intro, obviously we had a service project last night over at Sunny Acres. We had the whole place for a little bit, and it was great. We had a night of worship. We were able to pack up tons of different bags with books and pajamas for foster care kids. One of our project lead groups actually led that, our project lead local group, and it was just a great time where we got to come in community and fellowship and do something positive for the community around us, which is something that this school is all about.
Absolutely, and I think another thing about Wheaton Academy is homecoming week is like so special because if you don't participate, then you're looked out on, whereas most schools, like if you're going above and beyond, then you're kind of the outcast. But for Wheaton Academy, it's the complete opposite, where everyone participates, everyone gets in on the action. As we had almost 500 students at Sunny Acres last night supporting, dropping off books, but stuff for children, and able to support kids through Kids Alive. So yeah, that was our homecoming week. That's what it looks like for us here. But everyone's hyped up, ready for tonight. The two games of the week are football tonight against Ridgewood and then soccer tomorrow night, as we will be back live for that. Make sure you guys tune in there. But we are getting ready to start plays. Declan Finnegan is getting ready to take the kick. Why don't you talk about that a little bit, Derek?
Declan Finnegan is also our starting goalie. We've touched on that in past broadcasts. He does a great job. He's been super, super solid for us kicking the ball. And let's talk about Ridgewood for a little bit. So they're 2-2 coming into this. Wheaton Academy, obviously 4-0. We've had 3 shutouts in a row. Ridgewood had a tight game with Bishop Mack 2 weekends ago. And we beat Bishop Mack a couple weeks ago, but you never know what could happen. They had a close game with Bishop Mack. And with guys that I've talked to, it sounded like they actually should have won. There was maybe a bad call, but the kick is off, and it's game time.
It's game time. It's Declan Finnegan with a nice kick, and it'll be tackled right around the 20-yard line as Wheaton Academy stops them there. But, yeah, Ridgewood has improved a lot on them the past couple of years. I was talking to Belai actually earlier today, and he said that Ridgewood is progressing every single year and coming out faster and stronger every time, and they're a team that flies under the radar a lot of the times because they get upset a lot. But they compete very well in every sport, he said, and they said they're not going to sleep on them tonight as they look to come out early and score a couple touchdowns in the first quarter. But, yeah, another thing Coach Swider was talking about on the sideline is that they need to score early here in the first quarter in order to give their defense a chance with a couple guys out, Gavin Padone on the running back side. So they need to step up there, as they will be sacked there for the first defensive play of the game.
Peter Johannick getting in on that one. Looks like Isaac Lacasio was out there too, moving. But that was a huge special team stop for the Warriors. As I was talking to Breck Peacock today, he said that their special teams at Ridgewood has been strong. They've returned a couple punts for touchdowns. So that was a big stop for us there, especially with some special teams guys out, like Hudson Williams. You can see Belai there getting zoned in, ready to go. He's had a huge year so far, and he's just going to continue to go with that. He's going to have another big game here tonight.
And Brandon Keels on the defensive side is out again tonight, I believe, with his shoulder injuries. He was getting some physical therapy treatment for that, and along with Ethan Brunner, who's been a force on the defensive side of the ball. But Ridgewood's quarterback, Jaden Rodriguez, looks to advance the ball once again. They need some yardage here if they're going to start this game off with a bang.
Yeah, whatever team you are, you always want to start off with an early score.
The snap's good. Jaden Rodriguez will look on the far side, and a nice pass there. And it will be about a 4-yard gain, but
There's
a flag on the
field. Flag on the field. Looks like it wasn't much of a gain, if any at all. We'll see what the call is here.
Might have been against Wheaton Academy.
Personal foul against Wheaton Academy, so that's going to move the sticks forward for Ridgewood, and you got to take advantage of these moments in a football game. You can work off of penalties and start to get rolling. So hopefully, for Ridgewood's sake, they can do that here and score early, or else Wheaton Academy is going to come right back at them and put one in there.
Absolutely, and I think with all the injuries, Ridgewood's goal has to be to play to the Wheaton Academy's weaker side of the defense so far in this game. just because Wheaton Academy's low on numbers again tonight. And another thing that Swider was talking about earlier on in the season is that every team's got to deal with injuries at some point, and this is Wheaton Academy's turn to do that. As Jaden Rodriguez looks downfield, and it's intercepted by Breck Peacock,
is gone,
and he will take it to the house.
And that's a pick six to start the game. Wheaton Academy, we are back.
Wheaton Academy touchdown. Breck Peacock with another touchdown of this season. That is his 5th of the year. I believe his 3rd interception, as he read that one perfectly.
We talked about it before the game. Breck Peacock is an X factor for this team. And we were talking about the offensive end. He just did that defensively. He's been great. He was talking about the defensive schemes with me today. Such a knowledgeable player. And that's a huge pick right there to start the game. And he's locked in, man. He's locked in. Special teams is going to be right back out there, and they're going to have a chance to do that again.
You can see him there on the screen. He's all business right now. He got hyped up there for a minute, but back to the bench, and the Wheaton Academy goes back to work as Declan Finnegan will look for the extra point.
That's exactly how you want to start off a game. You said score early, and we didn't have to get the ball on offense to score early. We're scoring.
As Declan Finnegan has been almost perfect this entire season. I believe he's missed one kick for the field goal this entire season, as he will line up once again, and it is good.
It's like clockwork. Extra point is good. And just like that, a little over 10 minutes left, 7-0 Wheaton Academy.
As we said, defense had to be a big picture tonight for Wheaton Academy, and right off the bat, defense goes to work putting some points on the board for Wheaton Academy. Breck Peacock, one of our game changers, comes through, not with the offensive side of the ball, but still putting points on the board on the defensive side.
Not much changes here. Kick team goes out. Stop them, prevent them from getting some good yardage on the kick, and then just shut them down.
Ridgewood has to recuperate here and get some points on the board early here in the first quarter and not let Wheaton Academy run away with it, as I believe the theme for Wheaton Academy so far, playing at home at least, is early on they've scored quite a bit and been able to get their reserves in later in the game. But Wheaton Academy's taking advantage already early in the first quarter.
Declan Finnegan is out there. Like we said, he's been a force. We're really lucky to have a kicker that is as consistent as him, especially at the high school level. It helps, makes a lot of things easier. So if you ever have a situation where you need to kick a field goal, we got someone we can go to.
It's another good kick there by Declan Finnegan. Caught there right about the 5-yard line and will be clogged up right about at the 25-yard line and taken down there.
Another great job by the Warriors. Special teams is doing a good job. There's a lot of guys in there.
Let's look at the defensive side for Wheaton Academy, or offensive, I mean. We have John Hubergetsky, Brandon Hoekstra, Jeremy Johannick, Mitch Carrick, and Jarrett Jower. And to follow that, the Warriors defense goes back to action, and the offense, Belai Brummel, Stephen Fellows, Breck Peacock, Jalen Whitaker, Brett Casper, and Zach Moravec. Zach Moravec had 2 big touchdowns last time we were in the booth, and he looks to do it again tonight.
He did.
As Ridgewood looks to run the ball and get about a 3-yard gain on that one.
For a sec there, it looked like we might have poked the ball out. Jeremy Johannick active from the jump, like he always is. You can see shades of his older brother, Peter Johannick, who was an all-conference football player for Wheaton Academy last year. But Jeremy Johannick has done a great job filling his brother's shoes early on this season. Yeah, his brother Peter, Defensive Player of the Year in the MSC Conference last year. He's at Wheaton College now, playing over there. He's had a successful season so far. We'll see if Ridgewood can do anything here. A short pass to the outside.
Another
flag on the field.
Yeah, and Jeremy Johannick has had 14 tackles on the year. 3 of them have been solo tackles, but he's had a good, strong year so far, as he's only a sophomore, too, a young player getting a lot of playing time on varsity early on.
We always note the young core that Wheaton Academy has. Obviously, we've got seniors in leadership roles, but a lot of our guys that are impact players are underclassmen. We'll see what the flag is here.
I believe the flag is against Ridgewood. Could not tell what the call was, unfortunately, but will be.
Flag will be against Ridgewood. It's going to be a holding.
The ball will be placed as a result of the 10-yard line. Bring up a second down and long for the Rebels.
Second and long here for the Rebels. Second and 23 to be exact. We'll see if they can get out of this little hole that they've dug themselves into. Another short pass to the outside, little screen action. And they're able to get a few yards back.
Rodriguez's pass complete to number 22, Jacob Chalabi.
Still going to be a big third down conversion. And here we got the starting lineups for the Wheaton Academy defense. Jacob, why don't you tell us what we got?
We have Brett Dieter, Jeremy Johannick, Mitchell Carrick, Donovan Meters, and Gino Spinelli. Gino, another young guy who's had a great, strong first half. Isaac Locasso getting his first start on varsity this year as Jarrett Jower, Evan Eckert, John Hubergitsky, and Breck Peacock, along with Stephen Fellows, who does a great job on the offensive side of the ball, too.
Strong defense, undersized on paper, but we have held our own this year.
As Jaden Rodriguez will take it himself downfield and make a long toss, and it will be picked by Stephen Fellows, the second interception of the night for Wheaton Academy.
And now we get to the offense roll. Great field position for Belai. Stephen Fellows doing an awesome job there. Two of our best offensive players making two of the biggest defensive plays we've had all year so far.
On that play, Stephen got up there to make that grab as it was pretty much just him and the wide receiver there, and Stephen just got up a little higher than him. You see Jaden Rodriguez throws it downfield and just picked right at the last second by Stephen Fellows. What a grab there, as Belai Brummel will get his first action of the night. We'll see if he can rebound off of last week, having 6 touchdowns and about 285 passing yards.
That'll be Stephen's second interception of the year. He also had a fumble recovery earlier this year, and now we get to see Belai go to work.
As he passes it off to Stephen, who will run it up the right side and get about a 7-yard gain, it looks like.
That's exactly what we want. Stephen makes a play on the defensive end, and then he gets the ball right away. We look to attack the run game early, but I would look for us to go to Jalen Whitaker here, as we can see right there, number 11. We usually like to go to him early on a little fly route action, try and get something going deep to get some momentum. We'll send him and Brett Casper out wide. Peacock will be in the slot.
As Stephen Fellows is probably going to get a lot more action on the running side tonight with Gavin Padone being out for the next couple of days or the foreseeable future, as Belai Brummel will look downfield to Jalen Whitaker, and it will go right through his hands. You almost called it.
We love to go to Jalen early. He's got great speed, great athleticism. He can get off the line and beat his defender pretty easily. Just not enough separation on that one, but a great route, great throw. Belai put it in the only place where he could have. But I would look, probably going to try and get another short pass here, but that was exactly what we were looking for.
Absolutely, and I think that one might have just been contested just enough for Jalen not to be able to get 2 hands on it, but he might have lost it in the lights, as the players have talked about that before. It is a little tough to see at night, especially when they're not used to it quite yet. But Jalen Whitaker, just like you said, getting in the action early on. We'll see what Belai does here. It's a high snap there as Belai, under pressure, will look downfield, and a great toss there to Zach Moravec, who will get knocked down right at the 30-yard line, but multiple flags on the play. We will see what happens there.
Zach Moravec doing a great job, though.
There is a penalty flag.
He's definitely risen to the opportunities he's been given this year, and he finds himself on the field at all times now offensively. One of our best targets. It's going to be a face mask on Ridgewood.
And a holding penalty on Wheaton Academy, as they will probably offset. But Zach Moravec had 2 touchdowns last time we were in the booth against ACT, 2 very long touchdowns at that. His average yards per game right now is right around 45, so he's had a solid season overall.
We love going deep. Belai threw 2 65-yard touchdowns last week, so we're definitely not afraid to throw it downfield.
It's once again a 3rd and 3 situation.
Stoppage of play here. Sending Breck Peacock off the field. Get Donovan Meters to go on.
As Belai Brummel will go back to work with another 3rd and 3 opportunity, as he will look downfield once again to Zach Moravec, who will run it into the end zone. Another Wheaton Academy touchdown right on cue as we talk about Zach Moravec.
Touchdown for Zach Moravec, one of the better sophomores that we have on this team. He's been a threat. No one saw it coming, but he has proved everyone that he belongs out on this field. Awesome job there. And he just keeps racking up the touchdowns game after game. Belai throwing it off one leg there, going the wrong direction. It's about to be 14-0. Declan's automatic on the extra points. Man, impressive start from Wheaton Academy.
And just like that, Belai Realms' 19th passing touchdown. I'm sure he hit 500 yards on that throw. But another young guy we talked about, Zach Moravec, a sophomore, getting a lot of playing time on varsity this year. I believe, is his 5th touchdown of the year. Another long one at that, too.
Yeah, he's had they definitely throw some deep shots to him, and he usually delivers. We'll see the replay here. Belai takes the snap.
So you can see he looked to the right side first and then took a couple steps backward, threw it off that front foot of his as in running motion, makes a great toss to Zach Moravec.
Yeah, that is not an easy throw at all. You're going backwards, don't have any momentum forward, and you're still launching it. You can see Hudson Williams right there, still on the sideline supporting.
As we'll probably hear from him later on in the game, too. Last week during football, he had a running play, got ankle tackle, tried to step out of it, and ended up getting clogged up even more and ended up falling on the ankle. And he's supposed to get an MRI tomorrow, I believe. So we will see. Hopefully he is able to come back, as he was a good reserve for us and getting some more playing time as the week progresses.
We've definitely got some guys beaten up a little bit, but that makes room for some of the other guys we've talked about this year that could step up. And one of those guys is our freshman quarterback, Dallas Johnson, who's coming up his first varsity game. He threw 4 touchdowns the other day in the JV game. He's been killing it. He was through 8 passes. He was 8 for 8 with 6 touchdowns.
And if you guys are watching, make sure you guys do subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming live streams from Wheaton Academy, along with chapels and other events that we live stream as Wheaton Academy. We like to call it WA TV. Does a lot of work putting together live streams for all of you guys to watch. So thank you guys for watching, and make sure you guys do subscribe so you don't miss out on anything else.
There's our student section. It is maroon out tonight, homecoming night. You can see it is filled to the brim. Homecoming week always brings out tons of students, but this year has been a super great year. Student sections have been crowded every football game.
And I believe it's because last year Wheaton Academy got its first football playoff win in a very, very long time. And because of that, gave the school a little more hope in the football aspect of sports. And Wheaton Academy pulled out very strong, as only allowing 14 points in their first 4 matchups. Is Declan Finnegan with another kickoff there, as it'll go right into the end zone and be a touchback for Ridgewood.
7 minutes left here in the first. If you're just joining us, Wheaton Academy is up 14-0. Breck Peacock with a pick 6 early, and then Zach Moravec with about a 50-yard touchdown reception. Been a hot start for the Warriors, great start for Belai. And this is Wheaton Academy football.
There you go. As we mentioned, Belai is at 895 yards coming into this game, and with that touchdown, I'm sure he's very close to getting to that 1,000-yard mark early on in this season.
I'm sure we'll see him hit it today. Defense is doing a great job so far.
As you can see there, Evan Eckert on the screen getting his first varsity start of the season, I believe. As he was originally a soccer player, decided he wanted to go to the football route, and has done a great job, as that one will be incomplete from Ridgewood, as Jaden Rodriguez looked to get a couple yards gain on that, but could not be handled there.
Ridgewood running a lot of screen action early, trying to get some short passes and kind of beat our secondary, which is a tough thing to do. We got a lot of extremely athletic guys in our secondary.
The Ridgewood offense needs to put some numbers on the board early on, as they are already down 14 with only 7 minutes left here in the first quarter. They need some points early on. What would your opinion be on what is Ridgewood's attack going to look like moving forward in this game, already being down 14-0?
Well, obviously the pass game hasn't gone in their favor so far, so you're going to have to look to run a little bit. You could see they tried it right there and got absolutely clogged up. Our D-line doing a great job. Yeah, I mean, they look to pass early, and 2 interceptions off of that. So you're going to try and stay away from that for a little bit and go to the run game, try and run some jet sweeps, some different things like that to just get some movement. But all you're trying to do right now is just move downfield slowly and hopefully get in that red zone and give yourself a good opportunity to score.
Absolutely, and I've heard a lot about this Ridgewood team being very competitive, and I'm sure they'll try to make a push to get back in this game early on, and hopefully they can do that. As Jaden Rodriguez needs to go back to work, as it is a 3rd and 12 situation here. They need some yards if they don't want to have to punt the ball. As they will run the ball again up the left side, and a nice little spin there as he will get tackled there right around the 25-yard line, it looks like, as they went to the run once again.
Yeah, looking to get to the run. Not much there. It's going to be 4th and 11. It's going to be 4th and 8, excuse me. But yeah, they're gonna punt. We got Breck Peacock back to return, and we'll see if he can make some magic happen here. You can see our drum line. They've been doing a great job here at these football games, getting our student section, giving them some energy. Not that our student section needs any more energy than they already have, but low snap there.
Nice pick off the ground as Breck Peacock will return, and he goes down to a knee, and he will be able to recover the ball, as I believe he probably lost that one. As you can see, he kind of was stepping around. You'll see here right on the replay, took one step back and then had to move forward. Maybe just misjudged that one.
Yeah, scary play there. Pushes us back about 15 yards and from where we should have had it, but no worries at all. Gives Belay an opportunity to throw another deep ball to one of our receivers.
You have Jalen Whitaker getting in on the act again?
I think they're definitely going to go to him on this series, probably early too. They're sending him out wide, so he's got a one-on-one matchup, and usually that's where he does his best work. We got Brett Casper out wide with another one-on-one matchup on the other side too, so look for us to go to one of them here.
As they run the ball right up the middle, Stephen Fellows will get a couple yards gain, it looks like. But, yeah, unfortunately, Gavin Padone being hurt does hurt our offense quite a bit, as he has 18 carries, 174 yards, and 4 touchdowns so far this year. But looks like Wayne Academy is doing a great job of working around that, as you've seen Breck Peacock get in on the act early on this game, along with Zach Moravec. But, yeah, hopefully Gavin Padone will be able to have a speedy recovery, as he is naturally born lacrosse player, but decided to come out for football this year, and he has been a force. As Stephen Fellows will run it up the left side, he will be a first down, and he keep running. He is at the 30, at the 20, and still not down, as he dives for the end zone and just short. My goodness, what a run there from Stephen Fellows. Right on cue, as we were talking about his counterpartner, Gavin Padone, being out. But Stephen Fellows steps up to the plate with a great run there.
He broke a couple tackles. He was able to get outside early, and he saw a lane and tried to cut back middle. Got past one defender, and then one guy just caught him there. And you can see Breck right there being the first one to congratulate him on that run. Great camaraderie with this team. It's a brotherhood for sure. We've touched on that a lot, and that makes for some good football.
Absolutely. We touched on the fact that Breck has been such a big force of leadership for this Wheaton Academy team. As you can see, Isaac Locascio back there in the backfield, as that will be a touchdown for Wheaton Academy, as Stephen Fellows runs it in himself after that great last play, as Wheaton Academy will go up 20-0 here.
20-0, Wheaton Academy, 3rd touchdown of the first quarter. Seems like it is going to be another high-scoring game for the Warriors, something we've done a lot of. I mean, we've outscored our opponents 207-14 on the year so far, which is impressive to say the least. And
that was coming into the game. Now it is 228-14 on the season, as it is 21-0 with 4 minutes left in the first. Ridgewood's got to get back in it right now if they want a chance to win this game.
They definitely need to put some points on the board to end this first quarter off. Would be super beneficial to them. Here's a look at our upcoming schedule. You can see the 3 shutouts that we've had. Hoping to add another one to that list tonight. And then next week, our biggest game of the year, we're going to play IC Catholic Prep. They are 3-1 so far. It is at their place. We need to pack the house. It is going to be our first real test this year. We're going to be most likely 5-0 going into that game. They're going to be 4-1, and that game is always a battle. It's always gritty, and it's not going to be this 50-point game like we've seen so far for the Warriors. It will be low scoring. It will be a tough matchup, and the winner of that game is going to have a really good opportunity to go far when playoff time comes around.
For sure, and another thing that Coach Strider was talking about is that all these guys that are out right now are taking it easy because they want to be available for that IC game, because the Warriors have to come out strong, as IC is a very strong physical team. And Declan Finnegan with another kick here, and Ridgewood looks to return and get a couple yards gain, as he will get clogged up there right around 23-yard line. But Ridgewood Rebels need to get on it right now, as Jaden Rodriguez will go back to work.
Coach Finelli does a great job for Ridgewood. He's the head football coach, head baseball coach over there as well. Used to be one of the varsity assistants for basketball. So super involved with the school, super involved with the kids. He's definitely going to look to get some points on the board here for the Rebels. They got 4 minutes to push it downfield. You can see Isaac Lacasio there in the middle. His first start. Evan Eckert right next to him as well with his first start.
Along with Jarrett Jower, who is one of the biggest, strongest guys on this team, as Jaden Rodriguez looks to run once again, but
Jarrett Jower with the big hit there.
as you can see here on the replay, looks like the Rebels offense is just a little bit confused with the Warriors defense early on, especially with all the new guys. Probably don't know exactly how to get a read on Warriors early on, but if they are going to make an impact, they have got to start something and figure out how to get a consistent yard gain on every rush.
You know, we talk about us being such a young team. Ridgewood is very young. They've got tons of sophomores and freshmen up that are out here playing and having an impact. Big school, so you get a lot of kids that are pulled up. Football program not being the main sport there, and they're going to look to go deep on this one.
As that will
a little
get
outside,
out of
and
play.
that is going to be pass interference, I believe, on Stephen Fellows.
Jaden Rodriguez's pass falls incomplete. There is a penalty flag.
Yeah, that's going to be pass interference, Stephen Fellows, and that's one way to move it downfield for Ridgewood. They needed that one. Gives them about 3 minutes to try and convert on that here.
As we talked about, Wheaton Academy's defense is a little weaker tonight, a little out of sorts with all the injuries, but I believe Ridgewood, if they want to get back in this game, are going to have to capitalize on Wheaton Academy's mistakes, possibly on penalties, on misreads, but they have to get something going, as Wheaton Academy's already up 21-0.
First down and 10.
Have a feeling they might try to go to the pass game a little bit here. 1st and 10, might hand it off on this one, though.
As Jaden Rodriguez with a nice short toss there, but knocked right out of bounds once again.
Rodriguez's pass complete to number 7, Joey Clark.
As you can see there on the camera, there are so many people here at Performance Trust Field. Maybe the most I've ever seen at a football game. Last year's soccer game in the playoff there was a lot of people there too, but tonight there's quite a few, Derek.
It's a packed house. Homecoming week is always a huge draw. We get tons of alumni to come back, and you can see that there's a lot of alumni here in the house tonight. And Brett Dieter just had a big hit on that last play. And you can see him got right up afterwards. Super stoic. Not a ton of emotion out of him, but he makes big plays, and he's right back in there for another assisted tackle.
Ridgewood gets a couple yards gain on that one, as you can see on the replay. Jaden Rodriguez will pitch it off to his left there as they go right up the middle, and the last guy got a tackle on them. I believe that was Jarrett Jower once again. But as you look around the field, as you can see, Wheaton Academy's added some finishing touches to Performance Trust Field lately with a couple banners on the left side, especially the soccer banners over there on the stands that you can see on the screen. But, yeah, it's quite the week here at Wheaton Academy. I believe everyone wanted to show their best, and that's what everyone has done.
3rd and 10, this is huge right here for Ridgewood.
As Jaden Rodriguez will run it himself and look way downfield, and it will be incomplete as he throws it just over the head of his intended receiver, as it'll be a 4th and 10 situation. Going to need a punt once again for Ridgewood, and it'll be a turnover for Wheaton Academy.
They're going to punt. Breck Peacock's going to be back again. Obviously, coaches are going to talk to him and hopefully clean this one up a little bit, and hopefully Breck can can move us downfield and maybe even get us in a position to score a 4th touchdown or to kick one through the uprights here at the end of the first.
Breck Peacock receiving once again. We'll see if he can run it all the way into the end zone. That is my prediction on this play, Derek.
All right, let's see what he can do.
As
block
the
punt
is blocked and picked up there.
Jared Jower with a big one right there, and he is hyped up. Wheaton Academy making big plays early, 2 interceptions, a block punt, a deep touchdown pass from Belai. And, yeah, a return from Breck would have been nice, but that sets us up at the 20-yard line. We got a minute 33 left, and it looks like we might be putting a 4th touchdown on the board here.
Absolutely. Not exactly the prediction I had. However, Jared Jower with an unbelievable block there as Wheaton Academy will get back to work. As Belai Brummel will be back to work as Stephen Fellows will be tripped up and clogged right there, as it'll be a 2nd and 11 situation, I believe.
Yeah, not a ton available there for Stephen, but you're going to go right back to him. He had a big last drive, so his availability is there. Look to maybe go outside on this. Zach Moravik is out wide with a one-on-one matchup. When that happens, we're usually going to him. So we'll see what Belai does here.
As Belai will run out wide, and he will find his intended target, and they will bulldoze towards the end zone, and it'll be a touchdown for Wheaton Academy. Evan Eckert with his first career varsity touchdown. What a play there.
Evan Eckert with a big play here. We had Zach Moravik coming across the middle. That was definitely a diversion on that. But Evan Eckert with a big play, and you could see him get hyped up at the end. He reached out to cross the goal line. First touchdown for him. We love to see that.
We love to see that. Have yourself a night, Evan Eckert, as we have not seen him play all that much early on, but he looked very smooth on that run there, as Declan Finnegan will go back to work. And just like you said, like clockwork, Declan Finnegan makes it 28-0 Wheaton Academy with 52 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Big first quarter from Wheaton Academy. 4 touchdowns, one of those being a pick 6.
So you can see there on your screen, Zach Moravik getting hyped up for his team. As you can see also there, Braden Vandervelde getting some action for the Warriors special teams right here, as Declan Finnegan will kick once again.
Yeah, Wyatt Vandervelde doing a great job. He had a hit earlier. We'll probably see him get some reps in the tight end position later in this game.
And as you said, Dallas Johnson maybe in the second half could get some reps. First varsity appearance as he's the backup quarterback for tonight's game. And as you mentioned before, 4 touchdowns in the last JV game, but he's had a super strong season. I know Wheaton Academy coaches are very high on him, and he has a very bright future ahead of him.
We'll probably see Brett Casper come out on the first drive in the second half. That's usually what happens when we are up pretty big at half. But we'll see if Ridgewood they have the opportunity to close the gap here a little bit. They start with the ball here in the second.
As they will return, as that kick was right at the 1-yard line, as he will break a tackle, and nice tackle there. As I believe it was Gino Spinelli who got that tackle, but great hands-on play there. As that was actually Braden Vandervelde, believe it or not, with a great play there. As you can see, as I mentioned before, all the banners hung up around Performance Trust Field, but we'll take this time to make sure you guys also follow us on Instagram at TheRealWaTV for all your updates about our upcoming live stream events and sports games, maybe recaps from games we didn't get to live stream, but make sure you guys go follow us on Instagram and also subscribe on YouTube so you do not miss any of that special content.
Yeah, you do not want to miss these live streams. And Ridgewood does not want to miss this opportunity here to hopefully get it downfield a little bit.
And an incomplete pass there from Jaden Rodriguez. So Ridgewood needs to get something going. Jaden Rodriguez looking to start the Rebels offense early on here in the second quarter as Rebels need to get something going.
They definitely do. They've got a chance. 41 seconds left here in the first, but obviously the possessions carry over into the second. They're just going to have to move it downfield, and it might be slow. It might take the rest of the half, but they have to score the ball to at least put themselves in a position to come back in this game a little bit.
As they will toss it off, and a great tackle there.
Brett Dieter with a big hit, solo tackle on the outside. You can see the replay on this.
As we mentioned him in the pregame, Brett Dieter has been the driving force for this defensive club. As you can see, full extension, able to wrap his arms right around his hip.
He read that one early. He read it early. He knew that was coming, and he just hunted that guy down, wrapped him right up around the ankles, just like we teach it. Great job by Brett Dieter. Great job by the Wheaton Academy defense so far this half.
It's they will run out the clock here in the first quarter, as it'll be a 3rd and 15 situation for Ridgewood coming up.
3rd and 15 to start the second quarter for Ridgewood. And with that, we are going to send it over to our sideline reporter, Anna. Anna, what do you have for us?
All right, guys. So I was talking to some of the coaches before the game, and they said they were preparing all week for a tough, hard game. They had a really hard practice last night. They're expecting it to be a close game, but as you can see, it's not really that close. And, you know, I think it's going to stay this way if the Warriors can keep up their good work and hard work, and it's going to be great. Back to you.
We'll begin the second quarter. It is 28-0 Wheaton Academy. If you're just tuning in, the story of the game so far has probably been Breck Peacock's interception to start this game. Probably the 3rd play of tonight's game against the Ridgewood Rebels. But besides that, it's been all Wheaton Academy's defense so far, as Brett Dieter's gotten in on the action. And Jarrett Jower as well, as you can see there. He's on the screen. But Wheaton Academy will go back to work as Ridgewood has another 3rd and 15 attempt here, as Jaden Rodriguez, the quarterback of Ridgewood, not had a bad game so far, just hasn't had a lot of chemistry with his wide receivers, it looks like. But they need to start. They could get right back in this game if they can start getting some connections early on.
Definitely going to look for some early passes here. 3rd and 15. They gotta pass on this, you would assume, unless they can get some good action running the ball. But Wheaton Academy's defense has really clogged it up so far. We'll see if Ridgewood can do anything, and we'll see if the Warriors can maybe get a safety here.
As
they do decide to hand it
pass
off.
it right up the middle, and they will be knocked down, as they are going to have to punt here, as it'll probably be a 4th and 16 situation, it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be a punt situation here. We can see the Wheaton Academy defense.
You see there was an opening there, but I think the running back just misread it a little bit. Running back Daniel Lamas had an opening, but just couldn't quite squeak through, as Ridgewood will look to punt once again here with about 11 minutes and 30 seconds in this second quarter.
And Breck Peacock is out at about the 40-yard line. He's going to have an opportunity to do something here. He's going to let it go. Good bounce for Ridgewood. And we're going to be at the 51 to start this second quarter. Let's see what Belai Brummel and these Wheaton Academy Warriors have for us to start the second.
It's a good punt there. As you can see, Ridgewood's kicker very composed, but a nice boot there, as he got quite a bit of yardage on that one.
Receivers that we're sending out for this, we got Breck Peacock, James Fellows. Brett Casper is going to be out there along with Jalen Whitaker. Brett Casper, Jalen Whitaker, sending them out wide as always. And we got Breck Peacock and James Fellows going to be lined up in the slots for us. Stephen Fellows in the backfield.
As we also don't want to forget to mention the kicker for Ridgewood, who's had a pretty solid game aside from the one block of Jared Jower. Nico Kalaris has had a night for Ridgewood, as I believe the story has been Jaden Rodriguez and their kicker, Nico. But Ridgewood's got to get something going here in the second quarter, otherwise Wheaton Academy will run away with this one, as Belai Brummel will get back to work with Stephen Fellows on the running side. As Belai Brummel will look downfield, and he will find his outlet, and it'll be run right up the middle, and he will be knocked down there.
Good work, Brett Casper, on that one. It's going to be a first down for the Warriors.
As you can see there on the instant replay, just a nice smooth pass from Belai, like clockwork. Belai Brummel with probably 100 yards tonight on the passing side, probably reached the 1,000-yard milestone early on in this season, as he has had what a beginning of a year.
Brett Casper's done a great job. He's improved each game. He was just a quarterback coming into this year, but we've seen him blossom into a great receiver like his older brother Eddie, who's at Illinois State.
That one will be run up the middle by Gino Spinelli, who cuts left and cuts right, and then will be knocked down right at the 10-yard line, but some speed on that one.
We were talking about how the run game might be a little bit down with Gavin Padona out, but Stephen Fellows had a big run earlier. There's a big run right there from Gino Spinelli. 2 sophomores stepping up to the plate.
As you can hear there, our Prep Rally band getting into the act as they hype up our crowd quite a bit. They put in a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of work in order to perform at these football games, and they've done a great job so far this season.
Yes, they have.
Belai Brown will go back to work as Giovanni Spinelli, as we like to call him Gino Spinelli, is in the backfield with Belai Brummel once again, as Wheaton Academy looks to put another touchdown on the board.
It's going to be a timeout by Wheaton Academy. And we're going to talk about our next broadcast. Jacob, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
As Wheaton Academy will host Riverside Brookfield in a soccer matchup, the homecoming soccer matchup, as another big conference rivalry against Riverside Brookfield. Play them in baseball, play them in soccer, probably our 2 biggest rivalries, but Wheaton Academy coming off a big win the other night. Josiah Pitts had 2 goals, but it'll be at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, as we will have a cookout beforehand, I believe, and it'll be a spectacular night. I'm sure there will be a lot of people here for that as well.
Yeah, Riverside Brookfield has a tough team. I was talking to Troy Erickson, one of our seniors, today, and he said that it won't be an easy matchup for them, but they don't want easy matchups. They want to have a challenge, and they want big wins, and they're going to have a chance to have a big win here to wrap up this homecoming week for Wheaton Academy. We are back on the field. We got Zach Morovic out wide.
Stephen Fellows in the backfield now with Belai Brummel instead of Gino Spinelli, but as you said, Zach Morovic out wide as Breck Peacock looks to run it, and it will be tackled there as Belai tried to run it himself, and there will be a flag on the field.
Might be a horse collar on there.
As
you see the replay. It is going to be a horse collar against Ridgewood. Belai getting wrapped up there. First and goal for the Warriors here now. They'll be put at the 5-yard line. And either going to be a short pass, which Brett Casper has gotten a lot of short pass touchdowns this year, or we will hand it off to Steven and he'll run it in for us.
As James Fellows out wide once again. As he has had a couple big touchdowns so far this year for Wheaton Academy. And we will see what happens here as Belai Brummel.
Another flag on the field. A lot of flags this game. It's going to be a false start. False start on the Warriors. Another flag. Not the cleanest game early. Decent amount of flags on both sides.
I believe that's also with a lot of the new guys in. They're trying to form some chemistry, form some connections early on, but both teams having a lot of problems with that, especially the throwing game so far for Ridgewood, as they will need to put some points on the board here in the second quarter.
Second goal opportunity for the Warriors. Low snap.
Wide, way to the right there. And he throws it into the end zone, and it'll go out of play.
Flag on the field. Just throws it out of the end zone on that one. Yeah, another flag on the field. Seems like we've had a decent amount of those here. I believe it's been 3 so far on this drive from the Warriors. And it looks like it's going to be another flag on the Warriors.
You see there all the Warriors players discussing what just happened and how they need to recover in order to get another touchdown on this drive.
5-yard penalty pushing us back to the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal here instead of 2nd and goal. And I would be looking for a handoff here, and that's exactly what they do.
Stephen Fellis will run it up the right side and get knocked down there. Good play there by Ridgewood, and there will be another flag on the field.
Flag after the play on this one. James Fellows looking like it's a face mask based off of what he just did. He was pulling his face mask down. We'll see what the call is, but it looks like it's going to be against Ridgewood. I believe it will be a face mask against Ridgewood.
I said it's against Wheaton Academy.
Wheaton Academy. Coach Johannick not happy about that one.
As he sends Drew Lindhorn out there for Jarrett Jower. They just want Wheaton County to play a much cleaner game, as a couple blown chances early on here in the 2nd quarter.
Definitely been a sloppy drive for the Warriors. We're going to be pushed back, and this is a 2nd and goal, but it's a deep one for the Warriors. We're at the 28-yard line. Let's see if Belai can do some work here. We got Brett Casper out wide.
Along with James Fellows, as he will look for the ball as it is swatted down in an incomplete pass there. Could have been a little bit of a sticky situation there for Wheaton Academy, as that was almost a fumble there.
And how about Ridgewood? They've turned something around here. Yes, obviously the Warriors have made some mistakes, but Ridgewood taking advantage of that, and maybe some miscommunication there on our end, but Ridgewood doing a great job batting that pass down, and it seems like they've got a little bit more energy as we get into the middle of this 2nd quarter here.
Seems like the game plan for Ridgewood was to turn the page and forget what happened behind us, as Bly Brummel will look downfield. He will find Breck Peacock, and it's almost picked off after the incomplete pass there. Almost an Odell Beckham-like catch there from Breck Peacock, as he had full extension, as you can see here on the replay. Bly Brummel will throw downfield, and almost an unbelievable one-handed grab there from Breck, but almost intercepted there by Ridgewood instead.
Just a little bit high and behind Breck on that. Bly may be a little out of sorts to start this game, but he will definitely turn that around here. We're out of field goal range, so we're going to go for it on this one. It is still 4th and goal, but we are out at about the 35-yard line.
As Bly Brummel will look downfield once again, as he's contested, and he's signaling to his wide receiver to move over, as Breck Peacock will make a nice grab and be brought down right around the 10-yard line, as it'll be a turnover on downs there for Ridgewood.
Peacock taken down at the 9-yard line, short of the goal line to gain.
As you can see here on the replay, couldn't find any of his receivers moving around too much, as Breck was able to brace one tackle and try to cut back, but he was brought down there.
It'll be a Ridgewood 1st and 10 here at the 9-yard line. Not great field position for them. They've definitely struggled to get off their side of the field. They're obviously hoping to do that here to kind of round out this 2nd quarter. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if they had a long drive, but you obviously do want to score the ball fast. That was a sloppy sequence there from the Warriors, but I have a feeling that they'll come back out on the next drive and clean it up.
As Jaden Rodriguez for the Ridgewood Rebels looks to start the passing game, looks to start the running game here for Ridgewood, as he looks to be the veteran leader on this team, as he is a junior. He's still got one more year ahead of him, has varsity experience under his belt, as he's had a good season so far this year. But yeah, Ridgewood needs to step it up here and put some points on the board, especially with Wheaton Academy looking as sloppy as they did on the last drive. As they will run the ball once again up the right side, as Jarrett Jower will not be able to tackle him, and a nice tackle there by Giovanni Spinelli, or as we call him, Gino Spinelli, showing some good speed there.
Yeah, Gino doing a great job. Jarrett not able to chase him down, but Gino came just in time. Short gain there for the Rebels. It's going to be a 2nd and 8 for them. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go right back to the run game here.
It seems that the connections with the receivers aren't there as of right now. Maybe they progress towards that in the second half, but the run game looks to be Ridgewood's best bet going into the later part of this first half. As Jaden Rodriguez will pass it off once again, and not much there for the Ridgewood Rebels run game, as they will be knocked down. About a 1-yard loss. As you can see here on the replay, Jarrett Jower was there, Brett Dieter was there, and looked to be brought down there by Jeremy Johannick and a couple others. But nothing gained there for Ridgewood. It'll be a 3rd and 8 situation here.
3rd and 8 for Ridgewood. Just looking to move the ball downfield. It would be a big first down for them. If not, it puts the Warriors back in great position to score a touchdown.
As Jaden Rodriguez looks to the left side, and it will be incomplete.
Rodriguez's pass intended for number 1, Gino Camilo, falls incomplete. And we'll bring him down in 8 for the Rebels.
As it'll be a 4th and 8 situation, as Ridgewood Rebels will have to punt once again, as Rec Peacock lines up for Wheaton County to receive this one. If you are just joining us, it is 28-0 as that one is dropped there, and it'll be a safety. It'll be fumbled and recovered for Wheaton Academy there in the end zone. And the ref called a safety on that one, as I believe that one was by George Truitt getting in on the action, one of his first varsity appearances, but great defensive play there. As you can see there, the ref on the screen called a safety. Looked like he was tackled and then dropped the ball on that play. But Wheaton Academy picks up some points there, as it is 30-0 with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the second quarter. Alrighty, and with that, we'll send it down to our sideline reporter, Anna, once again. Anna, what do you got for us?
All right, so I was talking to Mrs. Wolfel, who was in charge of the Furnace dance team, who was going to be performing at halftime. And I was asking her, how does she feeling about the upcoming dance? And she said, I'm pretty nervous, but that's usual for her. But she also wanted me to tell you guys a little bit about Furnace. They are an improv and dance team who perform to honor the Lord. And every time I've seen them perform, improv or dance, they're pretty good. So I suggest you guys watch that. All right, that's all for now. Back to you guys.
Anna, that is a great input there, as Furnace will put on a halftime show here tonight for the homecoming football game, as Ridgewood will kick it off here with about 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second quarter, as it is a low kick and looks to be picked up there by Zach Moravik as he is tripped up. And that'll be the end of the play.
Kickoff was received by number 18, Zach Moravik of the Warriors.
As Warriors offense will get back to work, it is 30-0. Belai Brummel will try to put some more points on the board going into the second half. As we mentioned before, Wheaton Academy is coming into this matchup with 3 straight shutouts, and that looks again like it'll be the case tonight, as it is 30-0. Ridgewood has not been able to get any momentum going so far against the Warriors defense, as Brett Dieter, Jarrett Jower have been forces so far for Wheaton Academy's defense, but Belai Brummel will go back to work. As Belai will look downfield once again, contested there, as he will look for Zach Moravek once again, and it is just out of reach, as it looked like he got contested a little bit from the defending player on Ridgewood, but incomplete pass there.
Second down and 10 for the Warriors.
So you can see there on the replay, just out of reach. A little colder tonight. Players probably a little more lethargic. Can't get their feet moving quite as quick. But that is what the cold weather will do to you, and players are going to have to get used to it, as here in Illinois, the October and November months are rather chilly, and we've seen glimpses of that tonight. As Belai Brummel will pass it off to Breck Peacock, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Breck Peacock, the ball carrier.
This will be a third down here. As you can see, two guys all over Breck. As Wayne County, two very sloppy drives here in the second quarter. They're going to need to turn things around in order to make something happen and not let Ridgewood Rebels get back into this game, as Ridgewood's done what they can on the running side, haven't been able to get much there. Jaden Rodriguez has tried the passing game, and it's just, there's not a lot there, as Wayne County's defense has been solid. As Belai Brummel will look downfield once again, and it is incomplete, and it'll be a 4th and 17 situation for Wheaton Academy.
For number 3, Stephen Fellows, falls incomplete.
As Wheaton Academy losing their momentum slightly, and Ridgewood Rebels starting to crack the door open here. They don't have any points on the board, but their defensive game has been much stronger as this second quarter has gone on. So you can see there on the sideline, that is Dallas Johnston, the freshman quarterback on the JV team this year, maybe getting some minutes here in the second half, as it'll be a kick there from Stephen Fellows. And that one will roll all the way to about the 23-yard line and touched there by the Warriors. With about 5 minutes here left in the second quarter, Ridgewood offense will get back to work, and they need to put some points on the board here. If you are just joining us, Wheaton Academy is up 30-0, as early on in the first quarter, Wheaton Academy scored many points, and in the second, Ridgewood has crept back in the game, played better defense, but they look to put some points on the board here with just a few minutes left in the first half. As those pictures on the screen were our original football team, some of the older pictures from that, as there will be a flag on the field, and Ridgewood will be brought down there as Isaac Locascio with a nice start of a defensive tackle there.
There's a penalty flag.
You can see here on the replay, Isaac getting one hand on him and a great grab, and then clogged up by a bunch of Warriors players, Giovanni Spinelli, Jeremy Johannick, all getting in on the action right there. Second and 14 situation here for Ridgewood Rebels. They need to get on it if they are going to score here in the first half. Otherwise, it'll be a 30-0 shutout to begin this one here in Thursday night homecoming week. As Jaden Rodriguez will go back to work, as he will look downfield, and he will run it himself, and then will be knocked down there by Jarrett Jower. And number 10, Brett Dieter, with a big hit there. As you can hear there, the prep man getting into the act, getting the fans walked up. As you can see there on the sidelines, two of our athletic trainers over there at Olympia wearing our maroon platoon sweatshirts that have been for sale all this week. And there's a shop actually going on right now with a bunch of Maroon Platoon gear, a bunch of Wheaton Academy gear. So if you are here at the game, make sure you go check that out. As yeah, everyone has showed out in the Wheaton Academy gear so far. But yeah, those are our two trainers, Hannah and Zach. They do a great job for us, as Brody's down there as well. But we'll get back to the action, as that one was thrown out wide, and an interception there, and they will be brought down. Interception by Brett Dieter, as we mentioned him in the pregame for his defense. As you can see, is able to read this play super well. Throw is almost right to him, and will be brought down just inside the 20-yard line, right around the 18, as it'll be a 1st and 10 situation for the Warriors, as they are in the red zone with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the second.
ball be spotted after the interception at the 13-yard line. Correction, the 18-yard line of Ridgewood, which is where Wheaton Academy will take over first down and 10.
As all of the fans here want one more touchdown before this half ends, as Belai Brummel will look to give them that, as he will pass it off to Breck Peacock, who will run it up the stive. My apologies, that is James Fellows actually, and Ridgewood defender Joey Clark able to get his hand on Stephen Fellows as he ran it up the left side.
Brought down at the 12-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play will bring up a 2nd down and 4 for Wheaton Academy.
2nd and 4 situation for Wheaton Academy. They look to put more points on the board going into the end of the first half. But Belai Brummel will go back to work. Hasn't had the greatest game. Connections have not quite been there. As Belai will look to run it himself right up the middle. Nice move and a spin, and he runs it in himself. What a play there. Belai Brummel getting another touchdown on the year. As you can see, nice little spin move there off the defender and able to brace another tackle as he runs it into the end zone. And it'll be a Wheaton Academy touchdown. Belai Brummel with another touchdown as he has had 20 touchdowns so far on the year. As Declan Finnegan will go back to work, trying to make it 37-0 for Wheaton Academy here at the end of the first half. As the kick is good once again, Declan Finnegan, smooth like butter there. And with 2:42 left in the first half, Ridgewood Rebels look to put some points on the board as the Warriors will kick it off once again.
Special thanks again tonight to our athletic season sponsors for the 2022-23 athletic seasons, the Kingsland Group of Keller Williams Premier Properties.
As you can see there on the sidelines, Warriors staying energized, trying to keep themselves warm as it has gotten to around 55 degrees tonight. As the sun has gone down, it has gotten very chilly. A little bit of wind here at Performance Trust Field, but been all Wheaton Academy so far.
Remember to follow WA Athletics as well on Twitter at
And we'll take this time to remind you guys that we have homecoming court coming up here in the halftime show and a lot of other things going on. So make sure you guys stick around and keep watching the live stream, and we will also bring you back more action in the second half. But got a lot of fun stuff coming for you during the halftime show. So stick around. Not something we normally do here on the live stream, but because it is homecoming, it is a little bit different tonight. So make sure you guys stick around as Declan Finnegan will look to kick this one off again for the Warriors. So you can see there on the screen, Coach Swider, the assistant coach here on the football team, does a great job motivating his players, along with his dad, as we like to refer to him as Senior Swider. Just a great voice for these young athletes, as that one will roll all the way. And no, it will take a great bounce there for Wheaton Academy, and he will be brought down. And no, stays up and braces one more tackle, and James Fellows with a big hit there, the senior veteran for this team. But a crazy bounce there, as that one stopped right before the goal line. As you can see there on your screen, big tackle there from James and Donovan Meters. About 2 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first half. Rebels looking to make quick work of this rush, but need to put points on the board if they want to stay in this game. Ridgewood looking for a couple yards here. Need to advance the ball rather quickly as Jaden Rodriguez will get back to work, trying to pick up a few yards here on the first attempt. They will go back to the running game as they push it up the right side, and it will be knocked down there. So it looks like Jarrett Jower might have knocked him down on that play. You can see right there, as it was Evan Eckert, actually, who was able to knock him down there. We talked about Evan earlier. Originally a soccer player, decided that he wanted to go with the football route, and has been a great teammate to a lot of these players. Hasn't gotten a ton of time, but a special player so far in tonight's game, is getting a lot of action that he has not gotten previously in the season. But we are just under 2 minutes now here in the first half. As I mentioned before, make sure you guys stick around so you can see homecoming court. Should be very, very entertaining as they run the ball up the right side again. They brace a tackle and then will be knocked down there as Steven Fellows, along with his brother James, getting in on the defensive act.
Brought down at the 21-yard line of Ridgewood. The gain is enough for a
And as I mentioned earlier today, as you can see, there are a lot more banners around the field as they put the finishing touches on Performance Trust Field, as that is the 2009 State Championship Boys Golf banner and the 2014 State Championship Boys Soccer. As many of you guys know, the team last year for soccer also took it down to state and got the trophy, as they will throw it downfield, and it'll be picked off by Breck Peacock. Once again, a diving grab, his second interception of the game. What a catch there by Breck Peacock. So you can see here on the instant replay, came out of nowhere to make a spectacular grab by Breck Peacock.
down at the 35-yard line of the Rebels, which is where Wheaton Academy will take over.
A minute and 5 seconds left here in the first half, as Breck Peacock will turn over the ball and make a spectacular grab on that one. Belai Brummel will go back to work, trying to put some more points on the board for Wheaton Academy. As he looks downfield, and he'll throw it to Giovanni Spinelli, who braces one tackle, braces another, stays up, and will be taken down there right around the 20-yard line.
Number 23, Giovanni Spinelli.
So you can see he gets very low to the ground when he runs. It allows him to be very quick,
2-yard line. The gain
but
is enough for a Wheaton
good yard gain there.
and 10.
47 seconds left here in the first half, as you can hear the fans go bananas, as there was a homecoming proposal going on during this game, as Giovanni Spinelli able to stiff arm one guy and then will be brought down there as Belai threw the ball back to him after that last play,
Brummel's pass
but knocked down there by a couple players. As you see, Giovanni very strong on his legs, very strong athlete. He's on the baseball team as well. Last year was his first year of baseball, but got playing time on varsity. He was just a tremendous player, tremendous athlete, very coachable player, and it shows considering he is getting many, many minutes here on varsity just as a sophomore. As you can see there is our homecoming court group. You have Josh Strzelka. Along down there is Derek Schlenbecker, as he had to leave the booth to go down there for homecoming court. He will be back up in the second half, but he had to go down there for a little bit. But he will be back. Don't worry, he will be back. There's 20 seconds left here in the first half. Timeout here, as Warriors players will discuss what they're going to do in order to get a couple more points on the board. Wheaton Academy been very solid on the defensive side of the ball tonight, and has been why they've scored so many points, considering 3 interceptions tonight. Zach Morvek with 1, Breck Peacock with 2. As you can see on the sideline, Zach Morvek is getting his ankle checked out. He might have rolled it a little bit. Looks to be okay, as we are hoping he's okay, but yeah, might have rolled his ankle, but hopefully he'll get back in the action. As Belai Brown will go back to work. Probably got time for 2 plays about, as it is a high snap, as he will look downfield for one of his wide receivers, as he does not have much, as he will run it himself and he will run it out of bounds. Smart play there by Belai Brummel, as his wide receivers not moving very quick, as Ridgewood's able to D up so far, and they've played very good defense so far here in the second quarter, and they are looking to stop this last rush here from the Warriors in order to keep it at a 37-0 game and give them a little more of a chance going into the second half. If Warriors can put some more points on the board, it's going to be very tough for Ridgewood to get back in this game. Never say never, though. I know this Ridgewood team is very competitive and does everything in every sport to get the win. So we will see what they are able to do in the second half. But so far, the story tonight has been the Wheaton Academy defense once again shutting out their opponents, and they've done a great job of that. can see there, Warriors players talking it over, trying to get something going, need to score some points as they have not had a touchdown in a little bit from Bly, or a consistent rush, I should say, as they've had quite a few problems so far in the second quarter, but been able to do a steady job, steady pace, as Bly Brown will go back to work with 21 seconds left, as he will look downfield, and he finds Donovan Meters, it looks like, and Donovan is knocked right out of bounds. As my apologies, that is not Donovan Meters. That is Brett Casper. As you can see, he's getting into the act. His brother, Eddie Casper, is currently at Illinois State University. If you do not know, he was a wide receiver for us last year. He was a senior. Very good player, very talented athlete. But yeah, his brother Brett is now with our team. He's a young guy. Actually, preferred position is a quarterback, but he's such an athlete that Wheaton Academy has been able to turn him into a wide receiver like his older brother, and he shows flashes of it, as Declan Finnegan will go for the field goal here. If you guys are just tuning in, it is 37-0 against the Ridgewood Rebels. Wheaton Academy Warriors have had a very strong showing tonight with 3 interceptions. Belai Brummels had probably around 100 yards is my guess. He's had a good game so far. A little colder night than usual. Probably coldest night of the year so far for any of these games. But Wheaton Academy has had a very strong defensive game so far. As you can see there on the screen is Ethan Brunner, Ethan has had some different medical problems as of lately. He's over at Olympia Physical Therapy getting all that checked out on the daily. He's had some knee problems, had some ankle problems, had some hip problems. As he's going to take it easy tonight in order for Warriors to prepare for IC Catholic Prep next Friday at their place, but they need the strongest game of their season in order to beat IC, as IC is a very strong physical team, as Declan Finnegan for the field goal opportunity. As it is good. Great kick there by Declan Finnegan, as he, with a bow and arrow celebration after that kick, as he's hyped up, as he gets up with Coach Justin Swider with the big high five there after that one. One of his first field goals of the year. Because of so many touchdowns of Wheaton Academy, they haven't had to go for the field goal. They've just had the extra point kick, but Declan Finnegan looking very smooth and able to get some points there for Wheaton Academy as they go up 40-0. As Warriors will kick it down for Ridgewood with about 10 seconds left on the clock, 9 seconds left on the clock. My apologies. But yeah, Wheaton Academy's defense has been the story tonight, even with all the players out. Brandon Keebles is out. Ethan Brunner is out. All these guys that Wheaton Academy looks to as their foundation of the defensive side of the ball have been out tonight, but they've been able to find guys to replace them, like Isaac Locasio, Evan Eckert have done a great job stepping in, as Declan Finnegan will kick the ball off, as they have a very low kick there, as they'll hop right up to the Ridgewood player, as he's able to brace one tackle and then brought down there by number 21, Tyler Smith, getting in on the action on the special teams.
Finnegan's kickoff taken by Ridgewood to the 21-yard line of the Rebels, which is where Ridgewood will take over first down.
There will be 1 second left in the first half, as Ridgewood needs a very, very long ball before the first half is concluded, as Wheaton Academy is up 40-0. So many people here tonight for the homecoming football game. If you guys are watching, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll bring you guys more during halftime, and that will be the end of the first half. Wheaton Academy up 40-0 against the Ridgewood Rebels. Been all Wheaton Academy's defense so far, as Breck Peacock with 2 interceptions tonight has had a tremendous first half. Have yourself a night, Breck Peacock and the Wheaton Academy Warriors will look to add on in the second half, but maybe the Ridgewood Rebels can pull something together to get back into this game. But make sure you guys stick around for the halftime show with Homecoming Court, and make sure you guys come back for the second half. Maybe grab a snack, grab a drink, as this game is far from over. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. We are just about to start the second half as the Warriors are up 40-0 against the Ridgewood Rebels. The players are stretching, but with that, let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Anna. She's about to get the inside scoop from one of our injured players, Hudson Williams. Anna, what do you have for us?
All right, so as Jacob said, I'm with the one and only Hudson Williams. So Hudson, how do you feel about playing ICCP next week?
You know, they're going to be our best competition of the year. Very established team, very good program. We've never beaten them before, but I believe in the boys I got back there. I believe that this is a brotherhood, and if anybody's going to beat that team, it's going to be us. We got
We'll Hudson and Anna in a minute, but maybe just a little Wi-Fi connection as Derek Schlenbecker is about to join the booth after the homecoming court there for a minute. And with that, we'll send it right back down to Anna as it looks like they have their camera up and running again.
All right, so next question. You are injured. How did you do that?
in our game last Friday against Bishop Mack, I got injured on my final run play of the season. Continue. I hurt my foot. I got the news today that I'll be out for the year, but I had a good first season. First season high school football, I got to play around some of my best friends, my brothers, and I'm very thankful for the time I had, and I'm thankful that they're going to let me stick around on the sidelines this year.
All right, and for the final question, what has been your favorite part of homecoming?
Definitely seeing that the seniors took the lead today. What are we up by? We're up like 615 to 500, something like that. We're up by a lot. So it was cool to see that today because I can't contribute much, but it's nice being a part of a winning team, just like a football team.
It's the spirit that counts. That's all we have. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Anna. What a great interview there from Hudson Williams. As you can tell, his passion and drive for this team to catch a couple W's this season is very good, as he's, once again, a naturally born baseball player, great athlete, though, able to come out and play football in his senior season. Wanted to throw on the pads, and he's performed well so far.
He's done a great job when he's had the chance to be out there. He's had some big runs. He's been awesome on special teams. You can see him usually at the beginning of the games. He was out there slapping his helmet, getting everyone hyped up like it's game time, we're going. And I know he's got that same energy on the sideline, picking guys up. We can see our QBs are on the sideline right now. We got Belai Brummel getting his arm warm, making sure it's ready to go. He probably won't be out there for long, as we got Brett Casper out there as well, getting ready to probably take a drive.
Also warming up on the sidelines, freshman Dallas Johnston. I heard he's going to be getting a lot of playing time here in the second half. Should be exciting to see that. But, Derek, why don't you talk to us about homecoming court a little bit, considering you were the one of the men of honor. Why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, so homecoming court, there's 6 boys and 6 girls chosen from the peers in the senior class that are chosen as people who represent the values of the class, of honor and different things like that, what the school wants to represent. So I was blessed and humbled with the opportunity to be one of those people. So we were able to go out and kind of walk in front of everyone and take some pictures. So definitely an honor, and I'm super grateful for the opportunity from the peers in the senior class.
That's great, and it's great to have you alongside me tonight, especially with all that going on. As we will start play here as a low
Squib
kick there, and it will be fumbled there by Zach Morvek, but he looks to pick it up as Breck Peacock will not be in the backfield receiving punts. But Zach Morvek will keep running it and will get run out of play right at the 20-yard line. But, yeah, a little squib kick there, and looked to be quite effective.
Squib kick took a weird bounce. Zach Morvik wasn't able to bring it in on the first thing. He'll shake that off, and the Warriors will be out there. Belai Brummel's going to be out to start the half. So Belai will start the half at QB. Probably no more than a drive for him, get another touchdown in, as we do have Brett Casper out wide. Jalen Whitaker as well. Jalen hasn't really got a bunch of touches so far this game. Probably looking to get him involved here.
It'll be a running play there as they look to pass off to Steven Fellows, who is clogged up right in the middle. A couple of yard gain there, but as you went down, Wheaton Academy had another sloppy drive as the second quarter, a little bit messy for Wheaton Academy, a lot of flags, a lot of penalties. What are they going to need to do better here in the second half?
I mean, obviously, they just need to clean it up. I think that if Wheaton Academy plays clean football, if they play their style of football, they're pretty much unbeatable, especially against a team like Ridgewood. So That's definitely what they're going to look to do, is just clean it up, limit flags, limit mistakes, and then look to get some passes downfield. And then defensively, just don't change a thing. Stay with it.
As Belai Brummel will roll out to and he throws way downfield to Brett Casper, and it is dropped. He was contested there, Brett Casper got up trying to catch that ball as Belai Brummel wound up and threw way downfield as it just falls out of his hands at the last second.
Brett Casper almost mossed that defender. That would have been a super impressive play. Belai launched that about 45, 50 yards downfield, showing his arm strength there. Yeah, but, I mean, still aggressive. We're up 40-0, but that doesn't mean that the aggression turns down at all, especially coming out in the second half. You still want to make your presence known. Flag on the field.
Penalty is for ineligible man downfield against Wheaton Academy.
Ineligible man downfield on Wheaton Academy. Another Wheaton Academy flag. Something we just talked about and touched on is what we need to not do, especially going into IC next week. If we're thinking ahead, all things go well this half, it looks like we've got this one in the bag, but the Warriors need to clean things up for IC because these little mistakes turn into points, which could lead us to a tough loss next weekend.
That's 100%, especially with that being the biggest game of the year. As Belai Brummel with a short toss, and it is almost picked off there by Ridgewood, as the connections with the wide receivers are not as crisp tonight for Wheaton Academy. You can see here on the replay. Tried to feather that one through, but almost picked off there by Ridgewood.
Yeah, definitely a colder game. It just keeps getting chillier out there. It's been hot and blazing, especially in practices too, so it's just now starting to cool down, and that obviously affects throwing the ball. It affects receivers, all of that, so that could be part of the issue. But hopefully we can get some things going here so we have some momentum going into IC next week.
3rd and 11 situation here as Belai Brummel rolls out to the right side, looks to find his man, and it will be Breck Peacock. I don't know if he's across the line, but a good catch there by Breck Peacock. As you can see, goes down to the ground, and
it is enough for a first down. It'll be a Wheaton Academy Warriors 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
As Belai Brummel will get back to work here, as Stephen Phillips will run it right up the middle, braces one tackle, and able to get a cross to the 55-yard line. A good gain there from Stephen Fellows.
Big run from Stephen Fellows. Takes it across midfield. Big run, broke some tackles. A couple stiff arms to get guys off of him. Another first down for the Warriors. Belai's back out there. We'll see if we stick with the run game. It looks good tonight. It's definitely been a positive in the Warriors game, along with the defense and some of the big plays that they had in the first half.
Especially because the passing game has been a little bit sloppy so far tonight for the Warriors. The running game has been able to pick it up so far, as they will hand it off to Brett Casper up the left side. Weaves through a couple guys and will be brought down right around the 44-yard line. It'll be probably a 2nd and 8 situation, or 2nd and 3 situation. My apologies. Good run there, though, by Brett Casper.
Big run by him. I mean, when you see him run and things like that, it does give you flashes of his brother Eddie, just the way he runs and cuts, and his shoulders are so low to the ground. He does a really good job. Like I touched on earlier in the broadcast, he's been such a bright spot for this program. He does a lot of things for us, and he is super versatile, and we got him back next year, which we lose Breck, we lose James. He's going to be a huge key to the success of this team next year.
As Steven will run it right up the middle and will get pushed out of bounds right around the 25-yard line. But Stephen Fellows will be back next year as well, as he's only a sophomore, I believe.
Yes.
As he's had what an incredible year. I believe 5 touchdowns on the year so far. One of our leaders, been a great running back along with Gavin Padone. But Gavin Padone will be gone next year as well, as he's a senior as well. But especially with guys like Stephen Fellows, Gino Spinelli, Brandon Key, all these guys that are getting experience this year, they're going to be key factors to the team next year when new players come through, and they will be veterans only in their junior season.
First and 10 here for the Warriors. A little over 5 minutes left in the third. Warriors are up 42-0.
As Belai Brummel will look downfield, and he finds James Fellows, older brother of Steven, and he will be knocked down there right around the 15-yard line, it looks like. Another guy we don't get to talk about a lot of time because he quietly dominates his position. James Fellows, a great leader on this team, driving force, super passionate about football. But yeah, he's had quite a good season so far, and he's just a leader on the team. There's no other way to put it.
Most definitely. Does a great job. He'll sneak in a big play every once in a while. He's done it this year. It seems every game when something's on the line and we need something, he will come through for that. But just another great piece to have with our wide receiver core, which is one of our strongest things that we have as a program.
This will be another running play, it looks like, and Brett Casper will be taken down, or Giovanni Spinelli, my apologies. You can see here he tries to go right up the middle, but just got tripped up there. Nice play there by Ridgewood defense, as it'll be a 2nd down and 11 situation here. So Warriors looking to capitalize on this drive.
Yeah, whether the game seems out of reach or not, you still want to keep fighting with the Warriors. So the Warriors are definitely, or Ridgewood is definitely looking to stay positive, to defensively still be able to hold this Warriors team to hopefully not get more than 40.
It'll be a flip to Stephen Fellows, who looks to run it into the end zone, and he will be knocked down right around the 7-yard line, it looks like. A couple-yard gain there. It'll be a 3rd and 5 situation, I believe. But Stephen Fellows with a good run there.
Great run by Stephen. He's doing an awesome job. 3rd and 3 here for the Warriors. We're in the red zone. We'll look to maybe hopefully get a pass play here. And then hopefully on the next drive we get to see some Dallas Johnson out there at QB.
As Isaac Lacasio lining up in the backfield. Haven't gotten a chance to talk about him a lot just because he is so new to the game. We don't know a lot about him, but he is a senior. As they will run Stephen Fellows up the middle once again, he'll be taken down there. I don't believe they got any yard gain on that. Probably be a 4th and 3 situation still. But, yeah, Isaac Lacasio has done a great job filling in tonight. Hasn't gotten a lot of varsity minutes before this, but started the entire game, played the entire game, been solid on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball tonight.
He's definitely been a force on the line, and that's something we need. You can definitely tell that Belai doesn't have as much time to get passes off just because that core of our line is not there tonight. But like we said, we're just trying to get healthy for IC next week, and people that had to step up have stepped up and done an amazing job tonight.
As Stephen Fellows is going to take this one into the end zone for another Wheaton Academy touchdown. Stephen Fellows with his 6th touchdown on the season. You can see he runs it right up the middle, but it'll be 46-0 here with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. But another great play by Stephen Fellows. We've talked about him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the man is having himself a night, and not only that, he's having himself a year. He's doing an awesome job. I mean, we can't say it enough. The sophomores that we have just do a great job. And everyone's been getting involved tonight. We had Evan Eckert with a touchdown early. We had Breck Peacock doing a great job offensively to get things rolling from the start. And, I mean, due to the score, we will have a running clock here the rest of this game. So we'll definitely be moving faster here. And we are looking to see Dallas Johnson get out there in the 4th. Hopefully we had the opportunity to see him. He's out on the sideline warming up right now with sophomore quarterback Sam Swoboda, who is out tonight, but who has gotten some touches this year. He'll probably fill that starting role next year for Belai Brummel, and he's going to do a great job. He's got a lot of experience this year. He's been injured, but being around Belai all year can do nothing but help him from an IQ perspective and just from overall learning how to lead a team.
For sure, and you also have guys like Dallas Johnson who maybe could find a way into the starting spot next year too. So there's a lot of stuff up in the air for next year. But another thing you're talking about is all the sophomores we have. We have great sophomores like Brandon Keebles and Jeremy Johannick, Zach Moravec, Stephen Fellows, like all these key players so far early on.
Gino Spinelli.
All these key players for the Warriors have really stepped up early on and have been very big starters for them, and they will be big starters for the next 2 years after this too, which is crazy to think about. That Warrior future is very bright, as Declan Finnegan with another massive kick as that one will roll into the end zone. But why don't you talk about the Warriors future and what that's looking like in your perspective for this football team?
I mean, obviously, losing some of those guys even last year, we said that losing our guys such as Joe Bracey and David Dorn and the keys to the defense that held everything together would really hurt this program. But I mean, we've shown that it really hasn't hurt us that much. The culture that they built last year and what has carried on through Belay this year has been huge. And when you have a Division I quarterback, it really helps and changes things. And when you have other guys that are able to be around him, as you can see, the student section's getting hyped. They got up on the Jumbotron. They're loving it.
So you can see also our athletic trainer E.T. on the Jumbotron. He's my lifting class teacher as well. One of my favorite teachers at WA, one of my favorite classes at WA, as we do strength and conditioning. A lot of the football players, a lot of the athletes here at Wheaton Academy take that class to prepare for their season, as it'll be the end of the third quarter. Wheaton Academy up 47-0 here in the fourth. Been all Wheaton Academy defense so far tonight. I think that's the story. Brett Dieters had a great night. Breck Peacock with 2 interceptions tonight. Zach Moravec with also an interception, but one more quarter to go.
Yeah, with that, we're going to send it down to Anna again for another sideline scoop.
All right, I'm here with Karis Jarvis, who is a member of the homecoming court. All right, so Karis, what has been your favorite part of homecoming so far?
So this year has just been really fun because I feel like every grade has gotten really into it. With the costumes, every day it's been really cool to see what people are making. And so just everyone's energy and what everyone's putting into this week has just been really cool to see.
Of course, yeah. And so as a senior, we're going to be leaving pretty soon. So just a quick question. What do you think you'll miss most about Wheaton Academy?
I honestly think that I'll miss the community the most because it just seems like everything you get involved in here, you automatically make a bunch of friends. So I'm really going to miss that and the closeness that our small campus has. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's all we have. Back to you two.
Thank you, Anna. And yeah, that's a great point. The homecoming court, as we talked about earlier, a very special thing here at Wheaton Academy. But with that, Jaden Rodriguez back into action for Ridgewood Rebels, getting a couple-yard gain there. It is a 3rd-and-1 situation. Slowly but surely, Ridgewood played better throughout this entire game, which I think that's important for them in weeks moving forward.
Agreed. You can't knock them for they've given effort throughout the whole time. It seems like they definitely have picked it up. And if you're Ridgewood, all you want to do right now is just get points on the board. The Warriors, this would be their fourth shutout in a row, which would be huge for the Warriors. But obviously, as Ridgewood, you don't want to let that happen. You've given them the opportunity to close this out with a win, but you want it to be as close as possible. If they're going to win, you want to keep it as close as possible. So we'll see what they can do here, but they've definitely picked up the pace. Big hit on that one.
Mish Carrick on that one. Hasn't gotten a lot of time so far this year, but very big hit. But yeah, I think that's Ridgewood's goal, is to move forward and to progress throughout the season, especially tonight. Probably not going to score 47 points in the fourth quarter, but you want to improve, you want to get better. And I think that's Wheaton Academy's goal, is to not really focus on this game right now, but to prep for IC next week, with that being the biggest game of the year. As that one is swatted down there by number 55. I believe that
Hampton.
is Andy Roman out there, I believe, or maybe that might have been George Truitt. I believe that's who that was. So he had another great pickup earlier on, but great play there.
Yeah, that was a big play.
My mistake. I believe that was actually Andy Roman, as we have not seen him play as of late, but he is getting in on the action tonight. As he stops another throws. Andy Roman, have yourself a night, getting in on the action with 2 big plays back-to-back, as you can see here on the replay. Last second, able just to get a tip on that.
Man,
Well
if he can be healthy for next week, that's going to be something that is going to be huge for the Warriors. He's coming into the year was a piece that got added back to this program after taking a year off last year to focus on baseball. He's committed, and now he can just come out here and have fun. And unfortunately, he did get injured to start the season, but it looks like he's back. And, man, him on the edge next week against IC could be huge.
He is such a big force, and a big, big hit there by James Fellows. It looks like the pass is complete, though. We will see here. Complete pass, big hit by James Fellows. But, yeah, Andy Roman hasn't been healthy. He had a lot of hand problems, a lot of ankle problems. He had a lot of knee problems last year during baseball, too. But he did commit earlier on this year for baseball. He's a very big baseball prospect. That is his natural sport. But once again, like Hudson Williams, he is able to throw on the pads and enjoy his senior season on the football squad, too.
Ridgewood's get clogged up on that one. You can see the replay here. Again, just doing a great job shutting the run game down early. Number 84, Patrick Morris, getting that one. So now we start to see some other guys get in. We got Liam Barton out there, number 19. Wyatt Vandervelde is playing safety for us. So now we get to see some of these other guys come in and step up in the fourth quarter. Running clock, obviously it's going to move fast, but Andy Roman right there again.
That one was blocked there by Patrick Morris getting in on the action. Hasn't had a lot of playing time this year. But with that, we need to talk about our National Student Production Awards. This is something that we take very seriously here at Wheaton County with the sports broadcasting and WATV classes that we take. The classes we take, it really just helps us grow as a program and helps us be able to produce content, produce games, live stream events. But what are your opinions on the class so far this year? I mean, we're only a couple weeks into school still, but we've learned a lot.
It's great. I had the chance to take it last year. It really helps you branch out. Your knowledge of sports grows, but you also are able to be more confident up here on the mic. Like every time I'm up here, confidence has grown, and who knows if that leads to a career in this field for anyone that takes the class. So it's an opportunity that a lot of kids don't get in high school, but we're super grateful for Mr. Hockett and the whole program here.
And definitely, and it's not also just about on the mic. It's about on the camera, behind-the-scenes editing, whether you're doing all the technical stuff with the mics or running all the graphics. But there's a lot of different jobs in the sports world of broadcasting. But, yeah, Mr. Hockett, our teacher, has done a great job in coordinating with all of his students and getting us ready for these games. But, yeah, no, it's probably one of my favorite classes. I mean, you've been up here quite a bit and look to continue that. Except for you got basketball season starting up pretty soon. Why don't you talk to us about that? How is basketball season looking for you guys?
Yeah, we have a new coach this year. Coach Smith is moving from the head assistant role to the varsity coach's role, and that's going to be super good change for the program. It's a young coaching staff. Coach Tate Fritz will be moving up as well to be the head assistant on varsity. We're figuring out the freshman level still, but our team should be solid. We're going to be small. We're going to be undersized, but we will definitely make up for that with speed. We can all shoot the ball. So look for us to be playing a very fast-paced game, and the conference will be strong. Riverside Brookfield will be good. St. Francis, as always, will be a fun matchup. But definitely look for our basketball program to do some things this year to shock some people.
And speaking of St. Francis, make sure you guys tune in this Tuesday night. Our girls volleyball team will take on St. Francis here at home in the Warrior Dome. It'll be a very fun night. We know St. Francis has a very, very good volleyball team, but this year our Wheaton Academy team is very good, so it'll be a good matchup. Every game against St. Francis is super intense, as the kick will go down to Brett Casper as they will let it roll and let Ridgewood touch that one. But
it's Dallas Johnston time, baby. He's ready to get out there, get his first snaps as a QB at the varsity level. And let's see what he can do.
But, yeah, Dallas Johnston, I was talking to one of his teammates on the football team this year, Jackson Younce. He said Dallas is just a very overall smart player. He's very good with decision making, very good with understanding the game. And so we'll see him as he will run the ball on the first play, and they will brace a tackler. And Cademan Bauer go for a run, my friend, as he'll get brung down right at the 40-yard line. But my goodness, what a play there.
I mean, great to see him get out there. His first touch, and he is gone.
As you can see, he had lots of speed there. I knew Caden was a fast, quick kid, but that showed quite a bit of speed. As our apologies, that was Luke Grazan, not Cademan Bauer. But yeah, Luke Grazan getting his first touch on the ball tonight. As Dallas Johnson looks to get back in on the action, as Brett Casper will line up in the backfield with him, as they will run it off right to the side. And it'll be another first down for Wheaton Academy. Number 35 there, as I believe that is actually Braden Vandervelde with a nice run. My apologies, Wyatt Vandervelde, as Dallas Johnson looks to use the running game early.
Three minutes left here in this matchup between the Warriors and the Rebels of Ridgewood. Wheaton Academy is up 47-0. You can see Rowan Marr getting to work on the drums there.
As Dallas Johnson will go back to work here with 3 minutes left, as they will run the ball once again, and they will be knocked down there. But Dallas Johnson will run the ball early on.
We'll see if they look to throw it all with Dallas Johnson. I'm assuming right now they just want to get him comfortable with handing the ball off and doing things like that. Probably not looking to do too much. Don't want to throw it out there and get anyone hurt here in the last 2 minutes of this game. But 2nd and 10 for the Warriors. See if they can put a couple more points on the board to finish this one out.
Especially, you never know when injuries can come, as we've seen as fans of Wheaton Academy. There's been plenty of injuries so far, but as they will run the ball once again, and he will brace a tackle and try to spin off another and will be brought down. But, yeah, Bly Brummel, you never know what can happen, as he's such a stud, but you never know. Injuries can come, as it was a nice run there. But maybe Dallas Johnson has to step up in one of the upcoming games if Bly's being needed to take out. But, yeah, Dallas Johnson looks like he will be able to fill that role very nicely.
Yeah, I mean, we got multiple guys that could step up next year into that role, and we'll be excited to see what they can do. Wyatt Vandervelde will be out wide, number 15. We got Luke in the backfield again. Dallas is ready to take the snap. And they're going to take a knee. And it looks like the Warriors are going to take a knee and just run this clock out. And it will be another win for the Wheaton Academy Warriors.
And with that, not only just another win, but our 4th consecutive shutout. What a season! What a start to the season for Wheaton Academy so far, is going into the toughest matchup of the year. They haven't lost any ground. They haven't lost their pace at all. Just shutout after shutout after shutout. As we mentioned, Warriors have outscored their opponents 207-14, I believe, coming into this matchup. But yeah, a tremendous game once again for Wheaton Academy. Not as crisp and clean as usual, but still got the job done.
A little cold out. We got some injuries, so not being as fluid is going to come with that, but still did a great job. Had a hot start. Breck Peacock got out here, had 2 interceptions. It was a heck of a game. Final score is going to be 47-0 as the clock runs down and the Warriors take home another win, 5-0, going into, like we said, the biggest matchup of the year against IC. Next week it'll be at their place, and it's going to be a packed house. Both sides are going to bring student sections. It will be one of the bigger games for each, and a reminder that our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It will be the homecoming soccer game. Huge thing for Wheaton Academy. The student section will be filled again against Riverside Brookfield tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. If you're not able to be here in person, obviously tune in. Jacob will be up here on the mic having a great time. So yeah, thank you for joining us tonight, and Jake will close us out.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Great game by Ridgewood as well. Wheaton County played a great game. Ridgewood played a great game. Wish of luck to them. But with that, we will see you guys tomorrow night right back up here in the booth for Wheaton Academy Soccer. It's been a great night, Derek. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in to watch this game. And we hope you all have a good rest of your night.
Warriors country.
Let's ride.